And then you need a 1/2 ounce of paprika. There's 1/2 ounce of paprika. Now we need 1 ounce of black pepper.
And those are whole peppercorns.
Yeah.
Same thing? You just grind it because you like a fresher spice?
Yeah.
Herb,
I'm going to grind this in the food processor. Now I'm going to add salt. Again, I'm going to add a 1/2 ounce of salt. Add a 1/2 ounce of oregano. There we go. Then we get the mortise and pestle. Give this a quick crush. Beautiful. And this will break down a little more in the chili. Alright. The last thing we need to add is masa. Now some people use flour, but masa just gives it a creamier texture. This is like a really fine cornmeal, and I'm going to use 8 ounces of good masa.
Now is that like instead of flour to do the roux?
Yeah, exactly instead of flour. Welcome back. Now I got a big 8-quart pan here, and I got vegetable oil. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of veggie oil to this. That may seem like a lot of oil, but this is what we're going to do. With that oil and the fat from the meat, it's going to absorb all the masa and all those spices and make a thick roux after the meat cooks. We're going to start by sauteing our onions.
Wait, peanut gallery question.
Yes, peanut gallery.
That was also because you're using a lean ground beef, right?
No, it's the same.
Oh.
If I was using a fattier ground beef, we would, when we're adding our different things to it, when we're cooking it out, we will just adjust. Like I'm going to do, I measured out all that roux, all that masa, but I might not use it all. But you can see, can you see? Let me get this camera in here closer. You can see I got the onions and I got the peppers and they're cooking. As soon as they get a little bit cooked, I'm going to add that ground beef and cook this all down. Now we've got this cooked pretty good. Starting to change color, we're going to add all this ground beef, the onions and peppers, and we'll let this start to cook. We got the ground beef in there, onions and the peppers.
How come we don't just throw it all in together?
Because you want to cook some of the flavor, pull some of the flavor out of the vegetables you threw in there. And if you don't let it cook a little bit, you won't have any flavor from the vegetables.
Cooking those by themselves? Changing the flavor of those?
Yeah, it develops flavor a little more. Now as you can see, I've got my beef starting to brown. We're going to let this brown all the way up before we add any spices to it. And you can see the onions actually just dissolved into the meat. And that's going to add, when a judge is tasting your chili, it's just going to have all the flavors mixed into everywhere. Now this beef has been cooking a few minutes. It's cooked through. It's leached off all of its fat, added the fat and the liquid from the onions. So now it's time to add these spices. So So I'm going to add all these spices with this chili powder and mix it in.
You can tell it's not what, just turn brown?
Yeah, it turned nice and brown. And you still really, really wet. We're going to add most of this masa right from the get-go. And now we're thinking it's getting really thick. It's like a paste almost. It's like, you notice it's like thick peanut butter or something of that nature. Let me get this wire right out of here. That looks good. That's what you want. That thickness right there. I'm going to lower this fire down so I don't burn it. Now you don't want to burn this. You want it to cook. You want to cook the flour in, but you do not want to burn it. If you have a burnt flavor, you ruined your whole pot of chili with that burnt flavor. And I added all but about maybe about an ounce, maybe less than an ounce of the masa in. So like I said, depends on the ground beef. I measured the masa real careful, but because I could tell it wasn't as wet as I thought, which it should have been. So I want to add all that masa. I might just add a little fat to this, which I'm going to do. But it's a little bit. I want to add the rest of that. So I'm just sprinkling on a little fat. This is just, like I said, vegetable oil. Add the rest of this masa in to absorb that fat. And why I'm doing this is because when I add all the liquids, when I add the beef stock and I add the tomato product, I want to thicken this up. I want this to be a dense chili, medium thick chili, not glue, but a medium thick chili, and that should do it. All right. I let it cook